Ready, B? Let's go get 'em. Look for me, young B, cruising down the west side highway, doing what we like to do. Eyes behind shades, this necklace the reason all of my days.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah. What's going on?
This is OnPoint Experience, everybody. The talk show with the best guests, with the best hosts, and the best show.
That's right. All the way.
So let's do a quick roll call, everybody.
What's going on, party people? This is your boy, Will Jameer Townsend in the building. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. It's your boy, JB, man, Broomberg in the building. To my right.
I guess this is retro.
Come on,
Ray.
baby.
You gotta have the same enthusiasm. Let's go.
Now, that was a Jay-Z impersonation. If you didn't know.
That was, yeah.
I was trying, but I was
Just say your name.
Just say it.
It's Ray. Good morning, everyone. It's Ray.
Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Threw me off.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
This is Yaz Hurston. And if you're tuning in and you want to listen to the guest that will be on today, you can check us out on our Facebook page. We're doing Facebook Live. Check out OnPoint Experience page.
Yeah.
OnPoint Experience page. And, some of us also sharing the show, so you can see it on our respective pages. And you can also call in if somebody's saying, I'm trying to watch it. And you can also go on our website at www.onpointradioshow.com. And you can call us at 929-227.
Go ahead, girl.
4646. Thank you, everybody.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, boy, I tell you. What a day.
Yeah.
What a weekend. So we're going to start off with what had happened. Ray, I'm going to give you the honors to start this process. And you can do, whoever got one, I got one too.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there is a lot to talk about. This is the segment where we talk about things that have happened in the past week. And it's always good to know what things like trigger thought and and discussion. So
right.
Just want to pass it over to Yaz. What happened this week?
Yo, I'm going to call you Magic Johnson.
That was Slick right there.
I'm going to call you Magic Johnson. That was right, the assist leader.
Yo, you did a good one, because I just thought you was going to say like something awesome about, the big soup that you did. And every, the Dominican heritage, Latino heritage.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess I could go in on that.
You don't have to. Just
No, it's true, because it's just that September 15th through October 15th is supposed to be Hispanic Heritage Month, but I don't really celebrate that because one, it's a split.
But we have listening audience.
Yes, we
members
do.
That
But big up to all my Latino people, Spanish speaking people. We're represented in September and October, from September 15th to October 15th. And last week though, I work in an organization where we had the Big Bronx Sancochazo.
Ooh, explain that.
It is, if you ever are in the house, you always go and ask for sancocho. Sancocho is like our national soup, where you put in, some people make it with 7 meats, like they put everything in there. Oxtail, goat, pork, ribs, chicken, meat, and they put all the types of root vegetables.
And stuff.
Yeah, and it takes all day to cook. So we took that and we decided we have a cookout, a giant potluck event where people from the community come and donate the ingredients, and it cooks for 4 or 5 hours, and at 4:30 we eat together. So it's a big celebration with music. We have games for kids. It happens every year at Brook Park on 140th and Willis Avenue. And it's always free for the community. And we have people from the streets who come and celebrate with us. So, yeah, that's what had happened. So tune next year, last Saturday of September, always come through in the Bronx at Brook Park.
There you go. Community stuff. Love that.
So anybody else, Miss Yaz?
Well, no. What did?
I can rock out. I mean,
Good.
yeah, let's go for it. It's interesting, following some financial stuff that we have our first centi billionaire.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you don't know what that is and stuff like that, was when you
That
worth
Jeff
over
Bezos?
100, right, billion dollars.
That's Jeff Bezos.
Yes, that's a lot of money right there, bro. The stock has been
A
surging.
little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit of change, right? Doubled his net worth in a year.
Trying to catch up.
Trying to catch up. Stock is going crazy. He owns 16% of that. He's just crushing Bill Gates. He's actually the richest man in America.
Is this
Is he single?
He is. No, he's not.
Oh,
But
Amazon?
Yeah.
Amazon. Yes,
Ah.
the owner of Amazon.
Yeah.
yeah, that guy is true.
He is making it happen, and you guys should. I encourage everyone to, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, just look at the story of Amazon, where they started in his garage, $300,000 loan from his family to get that
Wow.
business started,
So-
right? Then moved on to the Kindle and
I used to be an Amazon shopper just for books. Like it was just a book platform.
That's where he started at,
And
Listen.
I mean, in the 1990s.
right?
I was one of the early, clients.
I was one of the,
Were you really?
I want to cut
Yeah.
my throat and throw
And
myself
it-
off a bridge.
and it had
'cause
a
I had
good-
stock.
You
I
had
coulda-
stock?
I could have had
You
stock
want to do
in it.
what?
Indeed.
Cut my throat and then throw myself off a bridge.
see.
I'm sorry to cut into you, but
Yeah,
every
no.
time I hear Amazon, I get
Well, you know
I
what?
get this irritation like a fungus. But go ahead.
No, but you know what? I mean, it's
That's
like
really
Like a
descriptive,
fungus.
like a
Yeah.
fungus.
You really hurt,
But-
huh, bro?
That's really sad there.
it took Jeff Bezos to get to this point to actually pay his workers $15 an hour. Like
Right,
it
that
took,
was the next part. But go ahead.
yeah,
yeah.
and so
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Can you finish?
No,
Okay,
it's all good. I mean,
It's a
whole time
conversation
thing
piece,
is-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that was it. Go ahead.
$15 an hour. Like goodness gracious. I mean, he's a whatever
Centi billionaire.
centibillionaire
Centi-billion.
On the backs of the people.
on the backs of the people.
That's the American way.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly hope. Now, here's the thing about it. Not only
Yeah.
did he raise $15 an hour, but he cut out some bonuses for individuals.
Oh, my God.
And some other things on the back
That's
end.
it, and that
He
too.
cut out.
That's why
Oh,
he's
my
a
God.
centi-billionaire. I mean,
That's
come on,
You know what I
man.
mean? But hopefully, if nothing else, I mean, it's money in your pocket, right? And hopefully that Target, Walmart, they kind of follow suit because
Right.
there's also some major retailers out there and stuff like
Well,
that. But
yeah. Who is the richest person in the world? If
it
it's
is now him.
It's now him
In the world.
In
He
the
is
world.
In,
Okay.
in
Oh,
the
in the
country
world.
and in the world. It is
So he
now
beat out Alibaba
Jeff-
guy, Jack.
Yes.
Oh,
He's worth
wow.
160 billion, and there's no stopping that operation.
I would
You
tell
know what I mean?
everyone that's listening to this also definitely get into the stock game. It's huge. I decided not to, with Amazon.
Yes, sir.
With someone investing with me.
Wow.
Yeah, and I
You seem hurt.
chose to do exactly what most of us do: scared to take a risk.
Can't take a risk. No
And-
risk, no reward.
Exactly, and
If you don't take a
it
risk,
bit
you're
me.
not gonna know.
Yeah,
That's
it
it.
bit
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Risk what
So
you
this
can,
was
though.
this was a
Yeah.
great what had happened. We'll be right back. I think we'll be back with Financially Fit.
We will.
Yeah,
You
baby.
ready, Jeff?
That was actually financially fit.
Okay, all right.
Y'all got
We got a great guest. We'll be right back. Take us out.
The ghetto law is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my homies had to die. Reminiscing, pouring liquor in these streets. Give it up one time for my homies. The ghetto law is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my homies had to die. Reminiscing, pouring liquor in these streets. Give it up one time for my homies. I'm from a city that these trying to kill me in. Devil throw the hook, now he trying to reel me in. Single mothers raising crack babies, they on crack, baby. Now they wonder why they sign hustle in the trap, baby. I know you gotta get it how you live. So many brothers killed, daughter out here doing biz. Brooklyn birthed me, East New York raised me. Brothers getting killed, now they can't support their babies. Damn. I wonder what it's coming down to. You gotta have a strap before they kill your whole crew. On the corner posting, now they got the drop in the plot. Trying to take you down before you make it to the top. Stay humble and stay calm. You moving, you dead wrong. They see you grinding, now they like, what is here for? Haters turn to infiltrators, time to bring investigators. My rats paint a picture, I could be a demonstrator. It's the ghetto law is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my homies had to die. Reminiscing, pouring liquor in these streets. Give it up one time for my homies. The ghetto law is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my homies had to die. Reminiscing, pouring liquor in these streets. Give it up one time for my homies. I keep my eyes on my enemies and my friends too. Never able to tell what the next man is gonna do. Every time I wake up, I gotta pray up that I never fall or never fail. I gotta stay up.
stay 10 toes down, I'm on my pivot. I do this for the people out here, I'm on a mission. I'm with my brothers and they looking like security. Thank you for the love, shout out to the people feeling me. I'm here to put my city on the map. I do this one for shells and I do this one for black. You know I got my city on my back. I do this one for shells and I do this one for black. Adonis used to look me in the eyes, fighting for his life. You ever seen a baby cry? And I can feel the tears in my eyes, pouring up the Henny, make a toast to the sky. It's the ghetto law, is the law that we live by. Day by day I wonder why my homies had to die. Reminiscing, pouring liquor in these streets. Give it up one time for my homies. The ghetto law is the law that we live by.
You know, I really love that song. I love the Lost Boys.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
Cheeks.
So I'm celebrating my
looking for them
birthday
right
this
now.
weekend. We'll celebrate. You looking for them right now? Lost. But boom.
Yeah.
So I'm celebrating my birthday, everybody. So in the spirit of my birthday, I'm not going to speak. I'm going to pass this over right now to Jeff Broom, who is doing Financially Fit.
Yeah.
Get your workout on. We love being financially fit, right?
Yes.
We want to be fit in so many different ways, physically, mentally, but also financially, right? So we're going to delve right into it. You know, being in business, and many of us are, it's one of the challenges that we have in business is how we move money back and forth, and it can be very challenging. For those who are out there in business, and I've been through it before, I've had PayPal accounts shut down. I've had merchant accounts where Visa and MasterCard shut down. People do chargebacks and things of that nature. I've had bank accounts shut down. Oh, wow. Right? Incoming wires,
Your
outgoing
personal
wires.
stuff?
Well, I had a business account that was shut down that was linked to a personal account. And I just say it.
Was it my bank?
Chase, no, was it your little bank?
My little bank.
Was it Amazon?
Jeff Bezos, right? Nah, man.
It was Chase, right?
It was Chase.
Man, they did that to me too,
Chase,
man.
That's
gangsters.
unfortunate, Jeff. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah,
and it was like,
But you bounced back so well.
I had to
Yeah.
bounce back. They didn't give me the money back, but I bounced back.
What?
Nah, they didn't do it. Whatnot. It was, and every account that was linked to that account, they took that too. So, but it's typical. You have to fight to get your money back. So moving money in this economy has really gotten a lot easier over the last couple of years, right? And it's really gotten convenient. So economics and how we deal with this ecosystem in terms of moving money actually is a great thing for those of us who have to make sure that we get money. I think about when you had to give your brother money back in the day. Or your cousin or something
Back
like
in the
that.
day.
I hope he's not watching.
Back in the day.
Or you you have to give money to your relatives in a different country.
Different country,
You have
right?
to do a trip.
You'd have to
Yeah.
go meet somebody. I remember those
Oh,
days.
remember those days?
Western
Right?
Union, you had to
Yo.
give the password or a code that they
Western
have.
Union's the word.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Western
true.
Union job is to say no.
To say no, but because of those
sorry.
challenges, no, it's all fine. We've all been there, right? Getting money and receiving money, right? It makes things a little more fluid. Even with cryptocurrency, it really changes the way we actually do business, right? In order to move money. But Western Union is that funny. Man.
You got another Amazon issue.
I'm
You have a
telling
story
you.
to tell about Western Union?
Money laundering is an issue,
Yes.
right? So therefore, they do everything. They denied me. They're telling me I wasn't who I was.
right.
You know what I mean? I had to prove who I was,
Yes.
and I'm going above and I'm like, listen, I'm just going to have to meet this person somewhere because y'all put me through the ringer. A little bit. I'm giving you way too much information to get somebody else money.
Right,
I was getting
exactly,
mad. I
yeah.
hung up on them. So anyway, I had to.
And there was not a Western Union in every neighborhood either. You had
true.
to travel to get to give money.
And
to,
it's a fee.
and it's a
Oh, they
big
killing
fee.
you.
It's a fee.
I remember when I used to go into my brother's bank.
Thank God
to
for
deposit,
Cash App.
Right?
For
Yeah,
real,
that's
right?
true. to deposit money into his account. Now you can't even do that unless you have an account at that bank.
Yes, some banks they
So my
used to
brother's
allow
still
that.
broke.
Still broke. It's coming. He got to get
checks in the mail.
He got to get a phone and an account.
Right.
That's why I say I hope he ain't watching.
He ain't watching. It's all good
He
though.
is.
No, I'm talking about mine.
So my MoneyGram was jumping the BMW and pay and had to go meet somebody.
Wow.
And, but then it's like, you need to get on the train. You want money from me, you better come get it from me. I ain't
That's what I'm talking about.
give you money.
I
And
agree
gotta-
with that.
And I
gotta
gotta
find
deliver
you.
it. Come on, man.
Word.
You asking a lot
You
right
want
now.
money and I gotta find you? Word. You need to come and make it here now.
Then when you got to pick up your payment, they're like, yo, can you come
In
pick up your money?
pieces. In pieces.
Word,
We ain't
right.
gonna talk about
We
that.
gonna talk about that?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Making me mad right now.
Anyway, we fired up early in the morning. You talk about money. It's emotional, man. I'm telling you. But the beautiful thing about it is that you raised a valid point. You really can't deposit. Banks have only a few. TD Bank still allows you to do it, but Chase, Bank of America, they stop you depositing money in other people's accounts, right? But the beautiful thing is I just love technology. You want to be around with some technology because it's always disruptive, right? Amazon was disruptive, right? So these apps and some of the way we do things are still disruptive. So just some ideas and concepts and moving money. We'll talk about a couple of the top ways that actually can get it done. One is Venmo. You guys might have that,
Yes,
right?
my favorite.
You like? Okay.
Venmo.
Why do you like Venmo? We're
It's
gonna run
free.
through a couple.
Well, honestly,
Everything is not free.
Well, if it's linked to a bank account, it can
is.
be.
It
But
is.
if you're
Is it
using
free?
credit cards
You
and
sure?
things of that nature,
No,
they do
I
charge
use, well,
3%.
it's linked to my bank account, so it's
That's
free.
what's up.
There you go.
oh, okay.
Right. So you want to comment?
No, because I use Cash App and Venmo,
Gotcha.
and I
I'm a fan
like
of
Cash. I mean Venmo because I heard the percentage is lower, but maybe that's because my bank is not
Your bank.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of people in your branch.
The community of Will Jameer's bank really doesn't support.
With one employee, so the
Right,
fees are
it
like
can't
minimal.
work. Yeah.
Exactly.
About to be taken over by Amazon. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right, don't you guys share a spot with the bodega? Right, credit unions in the back.
Yo,
by the meat.
I don't want to get up the segment. I'm gonna just.
Yo, let me get a chop and cheese over. Can I get that money in the back?
Hand me the
I'm
deposit
sorry.
slip.
Barbers off. Use the ATM machine. Should be in at 12:30.
Oh gosh. Come
So-
on, y'all horrible.
But the thing about Venmo is sometimes they put your transactions.
Will
Well,
gotta
yo-
change his stuff.
Yeah,
man.
you gotta change it up, but it's
I
so
know.
good though.
Alicia's like, I told her. Yeah, she tells me every payday. Listen, the week you're not getting paid, change your bank. She tells me that. Yo, been telling me that for like the last 9 months.
It's all good, man. Great benefits and stuff like that. The credit union will get you guys going. So the thing about Venmo, sometimes they post your transactions on Facebook, right? I did hear that. With sometimes the amount is put like in a Facebook feed, but nonetheless, it's options. Do your homework, do your research and stuff like that, and they allow you to do. This is great. Up to $3,000, $2,999 a week on Venmo,
Okay.
right? Now keep in mind that some people have had their accounts frozen, right? Don't want to violate the terms and conditions by using some of these apps. It's just strictly for using money. It's not for paying for services and goods.
Right.
So sometimes in the comment section of what you're moving money for, don't say you're paying for something, right? It's like, my brother rent is due. Something like that.
Right,
So you want to
right.
be just very mindful about doing that. But and also keep in mind when you're cashing out to a bank account, it can take a couple of days to do it. So if you really need that money,
I'm sorry.
Certainly.
So if I'm sending money.
I like that.
right?
Sending me.
I'm sending money because of my half of food. If I put food,
Yes.
would that be something you say don't?
No, you can do that.
You said-
right?
Oh, okay.
It's like paying somebody back or
Yeah,
whatever.
payback
Right.
Jeff. That's what you gotta say. Payback
But if
Jeff.
you're
Payback-
purchasing something per
Yeah.
se and using that,
Right.
you really want to go through other like a PayPal
Other
that has
avenues,
different
okay.
terms and conditions,
Gotcha.
right? Cash app, right, is really
I swear by that.
is
Yeah,
it not
I have
very
that too.
simple?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right,
Same.
it's very simple to do, right? And
Yeah.
they use the cash tags. That's actually owned by Square.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Square came out with another disruptive piece in the
Yeah.
industry, right? Gave
Yeah.
it very easy
Changing
for
the game.
vendors
Yep.
to make that happen. So I happen to love that as well.
Yeah,
Another way
because-
of making things happen.
I could actually accept credit cards as payment, like with that
With
app.
the Square?
Yeah, because you link it up and then you take like
put
Jeff
the Square- right.
Jeff wants to pay me back and he doesn't have cash. He gives me his
Credit
card.
card. Yep.
Absolutely.
Stick it in there.
There you go.
I used to wait when I used to do these little these speaking engagements like with my book. I wait like it's $15, so they go, "Oh man, I'm so sorry, I don't have."
I had it.
No problem. I
Exactly.
Take it out. Boop,
Blink,
let me
blink.
get a credit card. They be like, oh,
No excuses.
right? You see the face change.
I can't pay child support. No.
Right.
Here it is. You can just pay child support
Right
right,
here.
No,
now.
you don't even need that anymore.
That would be great.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, we don't need it. That's not an excuse. Oh, I don't have the money on me. Right? It's in the can. I don't have a check. Oh no. Don't worry, brother.
You don't even need that. You don't even need the Square anymore. You just link it up to the account and just take it on your phone.
That's true. Yep.
You don't even
Yeah.
need that.
So these
That's
are
how they
great ways
started.
for people to not have an excuse to not pay.
That's
You know,
exactly.
And then
Yeah.
keep in mind, sometimes the fees are a little bit different if
Right.
you have the card and not have the card.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because a security issue if you have the card and the fees are a little bit less
Right.
because it's an on-card purchase. So just some different things that we want to. Now, for me, I use some of these applications and I try to because there has been a history of hackers that have gone out after these things and they've actually have cleared out people's bank accounts, right? So sometimes I use the Cash app I have a credit card and a debit card on there. I mean, my bank account. Sometimes I unlink the bank account. Just
you're not using it.
When I'm not using it, and it's very easy to add as
Right,
well,
right.
So what the mindset is that we get very free. The more we get free with these options, the more we're susceptible for things that are happening.
Yeah, we're
right?
prone
Comfortability
to-
is
prone
something.
to.
Absolutely. So identity theft is still huge because we use our credit and debit cards for everything.
No
these
one
days.
carries cash anymore.
I don't.
No
I
one
don't
carries
really.
cash.
I mean, even if I put a dollar in my pocket, it falls out and it
Falls
gets
out?
lost. Yeah, it
Then I
does.
need to walk behind you.
so
You just announce to everybody.
exactly right.
Whenever
No,
I
I don't-
carry money, it just falls
It
out.
just
gotta go home.
like Cash and I
You're
don't
gonna be
get along.
You're gonna be walking to Washington Heights. You would just see massive people behind you, walking behind you. Like,
thinking it's a community rally.
Exactly right.
Yo.
Or you just came from the rendezvous or something like, yo, where you got all these dollars? Anyway, so
horrible.
Zelly, I know it's a bad joke. So also keep in mind that Zelly is another one, but it's more through the banks,
Yeah.
right? So it's a little bit more secure. It's about 100 different banks. You guys might have seen it. It's just another way to move money. The great thing about it, they make it ultra convenient because now you don't need a bank account. Someone's got to think about the idea. Somebody's got a phone number and an email address, and you could just send them thousands and thousands of dollars. So Zelle is another one, but you need a U.S. bank account to fund and receive payments. Another way of doing it, which is very similar, is Google Pay, right? The great thing about Google Pay is that they cover 100% of all verified unauthorized transactions. So if there was
Oh,
a
wow,
transaction and you can prove that it was unauthorized and it wasn't you, they will refund your money. That's not the case with all of these situations.
I was just gonna ask you, is that
and
the
No, it's
scenarios.
not.
Okay.
It has to be Google to do that.
Google's right. Google's going to protect you.
Yeah.
But these other
I like that.
operations, they very well may not. May not.
They should. As much money we invested in Google with Galaxy and
You got that right.
Gmail, all that. Come on.
Google's huge. Google's huge. So keep in mind with these other applications, when you do it typically through a bank, if you do send it to the wrong person, there's a way for you potentially to recoup some of that money. If you use like Cash App and some
Right.
other, you send the wrong money to the wrong cash tag or the wrong individual, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? You can contact that person and hopefully they give it back. But when you're going through a bank, there is some excuse me, there is some recourses to that if in fact you do it incorrectly. Obviously, the one that kind of started the game, the most popular online, is PayPal. They're out there, but obviously more and more people are kind of shying away from. Okay, you had a story?
Question.
I don't like
What was
PayPal.
the original name for PayPal before it was PayPal?
I don't know.
Dum, 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 dum.
Amazon.
No. Because it was called Bill Me Later.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. I didn't know that was the
That
same
was them.
one.
They changed over to Bill Me Later.
Oh.
I still have it in like, because I have it since.
You see them a lot when
Since
you want to like.
1994, I still have it as Bill Me Later when I pay out. Like I didn't change the name on my account when I pay out to it.
You see, bill me later, like when you're taking trips, the airplane, the airlines, they use that. They used to. I don't know if they still do
No,
that.
it's not PayPal.
That's
It's
wow,
Bill Me
interesting.
Later.
Because it was set up for a credit type scenario,
For
right?
eBay. It was first created by eBay to like help make people like to, when eBay was created, they wanted people to make buy online faster.
Right.
And so they created this platform, and it became now a super.
Exactly.
It was a disruptive industry. It was the first. Yes, it was.
Yeah, absolutely. When like a layover or something like that we used to
Yeah.
do back in the day, right? Pay
Interesting.
me a little bit now and
Credit.
just extending credit. Exactly,
Yeah.
you hit it right in the head. The cool thing about PayPal is that you can transfer up to $10,000, right?
true.
So it surpasses what Venmo has done.
But I hate the fee.
Yeah, the fee will get you.
Yeah.
For large dollar amounts, it will definitely get you. And then
Side eye to Dave over there.
Side of the day. Oh, word. Dave's the fee collector. But keep in mind, when you start moving large amounts of money, that's when
Right.
you start really thinking about going to your bank.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
I
And
agree.
making things happen because only people,
Because
not
TD
only
Bank
people,
works with you on that.
they absolutely will,
yeah.
right? So and the cool thing about it is that when you're using, and it just goes into the next point, when you're moving large sums of money, there's other forms of verification. Like I know with one of my banks, I have a couple different business accounts that we wire and ACH money through, but on one of them, I know before I can actually do it, they send a text message to my phone. I have
Right.
to put the text message in there before they will authorize the movement of that kind of money. Because when you move large amounts of money, certainly you don't say, I'm going to move $8,000 through PayPal. Typically, you might not be thinking that way, right?
Right.
You should not, yeah.
Exactly, I've never used it, but Facebook is also getting into the game. Don't know a whole lot about it, but Facebook Messenger is another way to send money. I'm not sure if any of you guys have
No.
ever used
Nah, I
it.
never.
Would never use
They
Facebook.
got they
Exactly.
Yeah,
They
right.
clone you
They
and
get
it's
hacked
too
a
much.
lot.
They got
It's too
hacked, and cambridge Analytica, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Never.
Right, for political reasons.
No, just the
true.
fact that the
I'm with you.
violation, like the fact that it's so easy. Everybody builds app for Facebook, and what they do is they put you like LinkedIn. There's too many bots, too many fake accounts, too much. So it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that being said, right? So the online option, and one other thing that which great for individuals as well is if you want to send money outside of MoneyGram and those different things, is Walmart. Walmart to Walmart is best for non-bank transfers where you can send money to another Walmart location. Think about distribution, right? When you have other outlets, there's other avenues of business that you can get involved in, right? So you probably know where your Walmart is, MoneyGram in certain areas, but when you're dealing with other states, they're not going to find a MoneyGram location or maybe a Western Union as readily as we'll find in the city. So Walmart has jumped into the game, and their fees are a lot cheaper than MoneyGram and Western Union. So those are different ways that you can do it, and certainly the best way to move money is preferred. And it might not be this way for a long period of time, but the number one way to move money is still cash.
That's what I'm talking
But
about.
it might not be that way forever,
No.
right?
It's
won't
definitely
be.
going to phase out.
So there's
So
some,
when you say cash, that's like what? Like here?
just giving you money.
Yeah.
Giving you money, right?
Face to face.
No
face to
record of
face.
it, just here.
No record of it. You know, my son.
Line the bag underneath.
Exactly. Line the bag, right? Your girl got to get her hair done. You're not going to cash out like, yo, here, you know.
Take the money.
And just take that with you. Just
What that's selling you is old traditions, right?
Well
That's
said.
the best way of doing
old
it.
traditions, man. So that's still the number one, but I guarantee you over the next couple of years, moving money will be so convenient. It'll just happen as we're going.
We blink and I pay you.
People go to dinner and like, listen, you know, my half is such and such. I don't have money on me. I'll just cash app it to you, and we'll just keep it moving.
That's
right?
true.
And there you have it.
Financially fit, some ways to make it happen and move money, but understand that you want to be secure in what you do. Take your time, and keep in mind, do research on some of these apps, and you know, some of them just pop up out the blue, but you got to stay with things that are recommended, that people are using, and have the security features in place. So there's some ways that we can move money. So we're gonna have my man. We're gonna take us out with a little bit of music.
Yes.
And we're gonna come back with our next segment for our
She's a dancer.
Thank you.
experience.
She's a dancer. She's a dancer. She's a dancer. She's a dancer. Got me watching you. She's a dancer. Stuck on how she moves. She's a dancer. Got me hypnotized. She's a dancer. Gonna spend my money on my money tonight. Hey shorty, how you doing? See you every Friday.
Yeah.
Watching you move. Damn, you're so sexy.
Yeah.
No, it ain't real. It's all pure fantasy. Yes, I know the deal. It's all about the money. But I can't stop thinking about what we can do out of this club. Where it's just me and you. So say you're ready. Girl, give me that chance. Once I dive in, you'll be left in a trance. Got me watching you. She's a dancer. Said the hips go round and round. Booty go up and down. Said the booty go up and down. Hips go round.
Okay, so that's a great segment. Booty going up and down.
Yes, y'all.
Ray, make sure you're seen because, big shout out to Queen Dream who could not be here. We hope you feel better, Queen. And in striving and surviving, always Curtis Sherrod, who could not be here. We expect D Nasty, our lyricist correspondent, any second.
I like that.
I know, right? He made that up. That was really cool. So in spirit, I'm a big sports fan and a sports mom.
No.
And sometimes my biggest player that I love to watch lives with me.
That's what's up. Yeah.
But the second most biggest player that I love to chill with is right next to me.
All right.
And so he looked at me like right, I know.
Like I should have been first.
Right. That's a huge. It is a huge. Just remember that tonight at the game.
All bets are off once you get between the lines.
That's it, right?
So beside that, I just want to introduce a young man who I guess he has very high standards in his life, and his life has shown that. And I'm very honored to have him on the show. I've been working my way up to asking him to come on the show because sometimes you just can't take people for granted. And I'm going to read his athletic biography and then touch a little bit about his personal life. Sheddrick R. Wilson started his football career in Thomasville, Georgia at the Thomasville High School in 1989, where he was a receiver and also played defensive back and was a punter. He was an all-region punter as well as an all-star, all-state receiver, and he also played baseball, where he was a first baseman, a pitcher, and also played center field. That being said, his talent was recognized by an SEC school, Louisiana State University and Baton Rouge. And he's always shared with me, to be real, you have to be a true freshman. To be a true freshman, you start. As a true freshman, Shed Wilson was a lettered four starter from 1992, 1993, 1994, 1995. He was a team captain, the only solo captain in team history, and he also was a most valuable player. He finished that in his lead and then became a professional player, making it up to the NFL, starting as a Houston Oiler, made team as undrafted rookie, and then his last term in his career being a Philadelphia Eagles. Shed Wilson is also a father. His son has autism, so he's very, very active in the autistic movement. But he also spends his time mentoring young men at a school in White Plains. I have the benefit of knowing him because not only is he spending time with young men, including my son, every day off the field, but I want to say that specifically because you can always be a coach on the field, right. But he's spending time with him off the field every day, making sure that his path is right. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the young man who is here, who is unfortunately a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, but also a fan of life and everything that goes with it. Shed Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that.
You
almost made me impressed with myself.
Hey, yo, who's that?
You was looking for a curtain to go up, right?
Like, she's talking about me.
He's also shy.
As you can see.
So I wanted to read the bio so people could understand, and including our host, the line that you started from and where you ended. Because, every time you finish with football, different stages, everyone doesn't make it.
Right.
And whatever that means, making it, and I love your term for NFL, but whatever it means to make it, you were able to start off with a dream and you saw it through all the way to what whoever wants to be a football player can do. So I know I gave you some justice, but can you start off by telling us a little bit about your background and what really made you want to start doing sports?
You know what? I think it was just a way for my mom to get me to learn life. I think football is a great tool for teaching young men how to become men. I'm very fortunate to have had a mom that recognized that and wanted to, put me in a situation where I could be not only successful, but I think she wanted to save some money with not having to pay for me to go to college. Mm-hmm. So I'm very fortunate and blessed to have had her in my life. strong mother who was a parent, which I know is a lost art form these days. And I give her, I think she deserves more credit than I do. Her and my older brother.
Even today, you still give your. I love
Always.
that.
That's
Y'all always
cool.
do that. Y'all keep doing that, saying thank you to mom.
Hey,
Always.
Can't wait.
you can always tell a good man.
I just got what
you can always tell a good man by the way he is with his mom.
That's true.
I'm,
That's true.
I'm a mama's boy through and
that
through.
is
I
true.
love my dad. He a good dude, but you know,
I know, it's
dad and
true.
mama drowning. Daddy was good annoying.
I think it's like that across the board.
Yeah, man. I echo those
That
sentiments.
is so funny.
Indeed.
So you just started excelling. You just decided one day, oh, I can run.
You know what?
Kick.
No, I attribute that to my older brother. You know, I wanted to compete with him in everything, and you know, my mother recognized that, and you know, he had way more talent than I could have ever imagined having, and just trying to compete with him and trying to live up to his standards academically, athletically, and everything else. I don't know if a lot of people are fortunate enough to grow up with, you know, people that they look up to right in their home.
Right.
And I had that in my mom and my brother, who's, you know, it might sound like he's a lot older than I am, but he's only 11 months older than I am.
Okay.
Big, you know, big Dwan. Shout out to little Dwan Wilson.
Let me ask you something. I want to ask you, when you first got interested into football, right? You could have played any position, I'm sure. What was it that, I mean, other than just the competition and your brother and things of that nature, like what is it that the coach said, no, this is going to be it. This is what you're going to do. And then, of course, you went on to play college, high school, college, and then, of course, the pros. Why a kicker?
You know what? I initially started out playing quarterback. I played quarterback through Little League into high school, and played for a great guy in George Bobo in high school at Thomasville High School. And my sophomore year, he moved me from quarterback to receiver. He sat down and had a very real conversation with me at the time in 1992. There weren't a lot of schools that were taking black quarterbacks at the time. I was fortunate enough to have grown up with Charlie Ward, not even a half a block away from where I live, but you know, he was an anomaly at the time. And so, you know, my coach is Coach George Bobo. His son was actually a quarterback as well, and he said, listen, you know, I'm just going to be frank with you. You know, here's what it is. I need to get my son on the field. You're an athlete. You don't have anybody to throw it to, so why don't you go out there and catch it for my son? And, you know, I'll make sure that I form the offense around you two, and I'll make sure that I do your due diligence. You know, so and I appreciate him having done that for me.
Yeah, that's kind of you know, quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers, they're the glory positions. When you say kicker, you like kicker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Punter, right?
Yeah.
So could you talk a little bit about what was the process like for the recruitment process, and kind of like for our listening audience, what are the things that folks should be thinking about through the recruiting process, especially with everybody thinking that they're going to all make it?
Yeah, you know what?
You're real.
Yeah, the beauty of recruiting is it's kind of like dating.
It really is.
You know,
Yeah.
and I don't want to, you know, step on any toes, but I would view the institutions, the schools, the university as the male.
The man, right?
They're going to tell you whatever it takes in order to get you there. Once you get there, reality kind of sets in.
that's where this conversation.
Everything goes out of the window, and you know, once you sign your name on the dotted line, it's more about
You his.
Yeah, you mine for 4 years.
And don't go in that room.
If you're lucky, you mine for 4 years. You know,
I just
so-
bought you a steak
Once you
dinner.
go in that room, it's it. There's
Yeah, but-
nothing after. So how
Yeah.
long do you hold out?
You hold out as that depends. That depends on how many people you have asking.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
If you have one.
good. I like
You got one school coming after you. You got that one guy that want to take you to the prom. You better,
What up?
Better close that deal.
what color tux are you wearing? You know what I'm saying?
You bet the prom by yourself.
I
Yeah,
want to hear the lines. Like, what do recruiters actually say to, like, what are the, like, the flags? Like, what are, if they say this, you should think this.
You know what? They can say whatever they want to say.
They say
Like I
it.
said, I'm fortunate. My mom was all about the academics. She couldn't care less about D1, D3. She wanted to save money. She wanted me to go and get an education. And you know, that's the echo that the sentiment that I echo to parents today. Don't get caught up in the D's, the D1, the D2, the D3. Get caught up in the D's as far as dollars that you can save by sending your son to get a higher education. And like Miss Yasmin said, not everyone is going to be a D1 athlete. Not everyone is going to make it to the pros. I tell people all the time, I was fortunate. I was never the best receiver on my team. I made sure that I worked hard and tried to outwork any and everybody that was around me. But,
Right.
you know, I can't sit here and say that I was ever the best. you know, and so it's a little political. You have to have a bunch of people that behind you to believe in you, but not everyone is going to make it.
I'm sorry, get Jeff. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this week on TV, and I think everybody should watch, it's called Student Athlete, right? It was LeBron James and I think Maverick Carter, and they profiled individuals that are high school students going into college. Phenomenal. They follow some people, some real life concepts of what people deal with in this, because it's a mass market, right? NCAA is $1 billion industry. And as I was reading your bio and I was watching the show, what are your thoughts on the NCAA in terms of athletes? Should they get paid or maybe not? Is that a good one?
I hope they got the steel toe shoes on. You might step on some toes. Huh?
Step on.
You know, a lot of people say college athletes shouldn't be paid because they're receiving a free education.
Yep.
My response to that always is, if I got to go out and work, which being a student athlete is a job, I got to go to practice, I got to go to school, I have to maintain a certain GPA in order to go out and make money for this university.
Correct.
They should definitely be paid for that. The institutions are getting paid millions upon millions of dollars,
Billions,
on the backs of these young men. Sound familiar?
That's right.
Absolutely.
From the slave fields to the football fields, if we can be
We're in an area
frank.
like that.
So yeah, they deserve to be paid. I think that, you know, if you don't want to pay them, allow them an opportunity to go and make money for themselves.
Right.
Let them work jobs, so that, you know, so that they don't have to break rules and sell jerseys or sell, you know, sneakers if you're at North Carolina,
Still
to try to make money and those sort of things. So, you know, I think the NCAA has been pimping out people for too long. I think it's time to recognize that, and it's time to make an adjustment and start paying these kids. And I think the way it should be done is it should be done contingent upon graduating.
I agree.
Right.
That should be the carrot.
Exactly. Even if it's 10% of if they sell your jersey, when you graduate, you get 10% of whatever they've earned
Off
from
that jersey.
off your jersey, right? Because the way the NCAA does it is, when they sell your jersey, they don't put your name on the back.
Right.
But everybody in the world knows who number 7 is for LSU.
That's their way of not getting you money.
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
And most of our people that's flooding these college pipelines through college and also going on to these major leagues like NFL, NBA, and all that.
Right.
They're not getting paid at all. They're coming from unfortunate families.
Right.
You know what I mean? My question to you is the it factor. What makes it? What is your criteria of an it factor? I understand that you are coaching one of my favorite players. This
A Johnny Cornelius.
yeah. Well, no, I was talking about Tony Dorsett, but
Oh, okay.
no, I'm joking.
I actually played with his son, Anthony Dorsett.
Oh, really?
Oh, man,
But
that
we won't
kid-
get into that
yeah,
because
that
you know
kid
we got
look
some
like he was
haters here. But
No, y'all can talk about it.
that's okay. That's okay. What determines the it factor for you?
As far as a high
does
school
that
coach
mean?
is concerned,
High school coach is concerned.
I want a kid who's academically sound.
Okay.
First.
Okay.
That's all I want. You give me a kid who's academically sound, who's willing to work hard. I think we can take him with our coaching staff and sculpt and mold him to be a good football player. Because hard work trumps talent each and every day,
All day.
right? And I'm not into coaching to share my knowledge on football. I'm into coaching to help young men get an education. So, you know, if a kid is academically sound and he's willing to work hard in the classroom, just as he's willing to work hard on the football field, I see that as a winner.
So you play baseball.
Yep.
How do you have? What time did you have? Like, did you sleep? You did football and baseball.
I did football, basketball, and baseball in high
What?
school. I didn't have much time to myself.
You was better than Barry Sanders.
I
All of
wish.
them.
I tell you what, though, it kept me grounded because, you know, I think the more you're around coaches and good people, the less opportunities there are for you to get in trouble. It takes a
Absolutely.
community to raise a child. And so, you know, I see coaches as parents. I see coaches as an extension of mom and dad.
That's true.
People that are going to give you the best direction and help you stay on that straight and narrow.
So on the show, they profile people. They talk about how these kids are working hard, and a lot of them fall to injuries, right? And I know in your career and whatnot, you suffered an injury as
Right.
well. How do you feel about the NFL now? They've changed a lot of rules, you know, to prevent injuries.
So they say.
So they say,
Yeah.
right? They say that people are declining a little bit of the interest in the NFL because of injuries. You played the sport at a very high level, a lot of contact.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it is a safe sport? Are the rules helping individuals these days?
I think that, first of all, I'm not a huge fan of Roger Goodell.
Okay.
I think for so long he was a walking contradiction in the sense of they'd fine players for big hits, but then turn around and sell it on a DVD at the end of the season NFL's biggest hits. But I think to a certain extent, because of the pressure that they're under, and they see the dwindling numbers as far as participation in the youth.
Right.
I think that it's starting to, they're starting to try to do better as far as the players are concerned.
Gotcha.
As far as concussions and stuff like that, I think sometimes it's a little overhyped. If you look at the numbers, statistically speaking, girls soccer from heading balls and stuff like that, there are higher percentages of concussions in that, and so I think sometimes football gets a bad rap for that. It's a violent sport. I mean, we know what we sign up for. It's a violent sport. I think the issue comes when you get into the money part of it, with Riddell subcontracting the helmets. I think players should be able to choose whatever helmet they want to wear as opposed to being told what they have to wear.
How about that?
But that's a different subject for a different day.
One of the things I want to ask you is this. You're winning the game. Halftime comes, you're up by 3 scores.
Uh-oh.
How do you keep your team motivated and hungry to continue that hunger to the fourth quarter where it really counts, so you won't lose that edge and then, of course, losing the game?
That's a tough question right now because we've been in a situation over the last couple of weeks where we've been up.
Bring back memories.
I don't want to
not bring it back.
Yeah, I don't want to do that to you.
Scabs is more like it.
I don't want to do that to you, but I just want to know the mentality. The mentality in the locker room when you're winning is different.
You know what? And that's what I love about football. You find a person's character out when they're losing.
Word up.
It's easy to work hard when you're winning.
Right.
It's easy to work hard in life when you're winning.
That's true.
But Monday morning when you got to get up and go to work, and your boss is not one of your favorite people, what do you do then? You know what I mean? You find out who your true character is when you're down. And so I wish I could tell you that there was a formula or something that I'd lean on when we're up, that I could tell our kids. I'm struggling with that right now.
Okay.
So
I appreciate the honesty.
So NFL, right? So and we.
Hey, I'm bigger than football. Let's talk about something other than football.
I'm going to move towards it. Thank you so much for coming on. I mean, because you are the epitome of that. But you also have delved into the world of autism, being a father of a child who's autistic. And we actually had a prior guest to talk about it. And there just wasn't a lot of discussion around people of color with children of autism. What have you done in your realms discovering that your child had it and then sharing the information with others?
I think the biggest thing I had to do initially was just get over myself. So many times our kids that are born with disabilities, we either try to hide it, we don't acknowledge it, and the whole time that we're not acknowledging it, we're actually hurting the kid. I think the biggest thing I had to do was just settle down and realize that my son's autism had nothing to do with me. All my life, I guess I've been kind of selfish and thought that everything kind of revolved around me, and that I could control a lot of outcomes in my life. But when I realized that I couldn't control it and I needed to do what was best for my son and not worry about me, what people were going to think of me having an autistic kid in the realm that I've been in, then I think I became a better father for him. It's hard, though.
And what did you do?
I just kind of enlightened myself. I started reading, buying, reading books online and doing things that I thought I needed to do in order to help Devin. Fortunately for Devin, he has an awesome mom and my ex-wife who does a great job with him. Who is probably one of the second best mom that I know.
That's right. Say it again.
Other than Gloria Johnson.
Your mom,
My
right?
mom.
Your mom. That's right.
But
you up here getting points, huh?
I love my mom. If you can't tell,
that's what's up.
My mom's a great woman. But other than that, I just you just have to get over yourself and do what's best for the kid. I think autism has been around for a while. It's a fingerprint thing. No two autistic kids are alike. The thing that we have to do as parents of autistic kids is just realize that it's not us. It's about the kid. We have to do what's best for the kid. Put yourself to the side and do what's going to be best for your child.
Well, Shed, I want to say, as a selfless person, your life continues to show that, and thank you for everything that you've done. Shed Wilson, everybody.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, man. Appreciate your insight.
Adding on to the books of OnPoint experience, but more importantly, adding on to the books of many lives that you touched. Shed Wilson, thank you for coming on OnPoint experience.
Thank you guys for having me.
Indeed.
And we'll be right back. It was a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was a great show, and I guess we'll close out though, right? So we'll
good way to close out.
I think so. And this was a great show, everybody, and we'll see you the next time.
All right.